Hello everybody, how are you? Welcome back. It's Tanya here. Look, today we're doing a bit of a serious video. I wanted to do one on journaling and mental health, but there's so much going on in the world at the moment, and we're watching from afar. And I feel very sorry for you guys over there. I feel so sorry for you. But the one thing I wanted to explain, all right, was about Australian beef. Okay, so we don't accept American beef at the moment, but in 2003 it was banned because you had an outbreak of Thomas.
Bovine spongiform encephalopathy.
Okay, which is BSE, and BSE breaks down to mad cow disease. Now, there are terrible things that happen to humans if we eat that meat. All right, in 1998, Europe had it. Okay, I was in England and I couldn't understand, and so this will show you that I'm just a normal person. I had a year 8 or year 9, so 14, 15, I think I was when I finished school. The education was limited, but I understand this stuff. Okay, so what I wanted to explain to you is that so in 2003, the bans were made not to take any meat or live meat, raw meat, out of America. In 2019, the bans were lifted. All right, so when Mr. Trump says that you guys buy a lot of beef from us or raw meat, animal products, right? And we don't take any from you. That's incorrect, because it's true that we don't take it, but it's only true because in 2019 the Australian government said, "Yep, all right, we're lifting the ban, but you have to meet biosecurity conditions, which are placed on Australia's beef going into the United States." All right, strict rules on biosecurity, but they're not reciprocated. So America didn't want to stick to those same conditions that the government said, no problem. We're exporting, we're following the biosecurity, which we have strict here anyway. Our government really actually is very good with us and our farmers. But America didn't want to follow or reciprocate with the same rules. And that's the reason why we don't take beef products. There's no, it's not because we've got so many cows we're overrun or whatever. It's just because that's the rules. So you got BSE, mad cow disease, and then I know America hasn't had an outbreak of foot and mouth disease. I don't know ever, but I know Europe has had it, certain parts of Europe and different parts of the Pacifica and so forth. But they're the rules. Do you know what happens to you when you eat meat from BSE? Can you say the name again, Thomas?
Yeah, so it's called variant Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease. Apologies if I said that wrong anyway. Or VCJD, and it's not good. You can't get it hereditarily, and it basically just slowly deteriorates your brain over years, and is sometimes or even often mistaken for Alzheimer's, and it will lead to your eventual death. So, yeah, it's not good. It is not good.
So that's one of the reasons why Australia is so strict. And it saddened me the other night. Now, I don't watch Channel 10 that much here. We have a news program called The Project. And, they have serious news stories and stuff like that. And when it's serious, yeah, they do talk serious. But there's, comedy and news to me, and not a great mix. But I just happened to be watching an interview, and it was with one of the news commentators on there, and his name's Waleed. I can't think of his last name, but he's one of the main staples in that news program. And it was with Congressman Stutzman. Now, I'm not sure what part of America Congressman Stutzman's from, but he's a Wagyu beef farmer. Now, when this was being discussed with him, he had no idea that in 2023, there was an outbreak in BSE over there. Now, this just baffles me, because in Australia, if you're farming, all right, you are the first ones to know if there's an issue, all right, because it protects you, it protects your community, it protects your income. And the fact that a congressman who is a beef farmer stated, I didn't know that, in an interview with Australian News, does that not scare you? And he's a congressman, but he has no idea about the diseases that are threatening your livestock over there. I don't know, Thomas, maybe you want to say something about that.
It's just, it kind of just removes the credibility of what he's saying. Like, imagine if you went to a doctor and you might have cancer, and he's like, "Oh, what's cancer? I've never heard of that before." Like, you're not going to trust that doctor. And in a similar way, why would you trust a beef farmer who apparently doesn't know about one of the primary threats? And the other thing I wanted to mention is part of it's asking us to remove the biosecurity standards, or like asking us to waive them for America. Like, agriculture and beef farming are a really big part of our economy. So like if a disease gets into Australia and runs rampant, the damage it would deal to us is astronomical. It would be terrible. And like America would suffer as well, but they've got other aspects that, like, the percentage of our economy that relies on agriculture is probably considerably bigger than it is for America. So, like, they're asking us to waive the biosecurity standards and accept that risk is just, it's unacceptable. It's not realistic. It's
100%.
insane.
100%. So that's what you get from a 21-year-old, all right, that has his eyes wider open than elected officials. Okay, I just don't understand how, sorry, microphone again, how these people can spill this bullshit to you guys. So, you know, the tariffs, like, it's laughable, to be quite honest. You've got rules being made about tariffs by people that don't even understand what a tariff is. Because we have GST here, your Prime Minister is thinking that GST and a tariff are the same thing. No, they're not. GST is on all of us in this country. It's not just put on somebody that imports stuff to us. It's a goods and services tax. And it's helped this country. Look, a lot of people didn't want it when it came in, but it has helped this country. All right? And I just feel sad for you guys. The Oval Office, all right, was one of the greatest respected havens and admired by everybody around the world. And I sat down to watch Trump sign off, sorry, I shouldn't say that, President Trump, I have to be a bit more respectful, sign off on orders while you have Kid Rock in the background dressed as Evel Knievel, whining and complaining about ticket prices to concerts. Do not any of you see that as just wrong? The most hallowed place on the planet. Everybody admired that. You know, people that didn't even understand politics or whatever, or weren't interested in politics, if they seen something on the news coming from the White House, you just automatically respected it. Even countries that have arguments with the US, when they seen the White House and the Oval Office, it was seen as a room of leadership. It was seen as a room of high standards and great respect. And then to hear, and don't worry, I like Kid Rock, or I used to like his music back in the day, but dressed as Evel Knievel behind President Trump while he's signing off orders talking about concert prices. Please. You have people starving there. You have people homeless there. Who gives a fuck about concert tickets? I wanted to go to a concert the other day, and it was $300 a ticket. And yes, that's ridiculous. But there's a place to talk about those things. It's not the Oval Office. The sadness about all this is it looks like a circus. And Donald Trump, Mr. President Donald Trump, wants to be the ringleader. But like all the other circus people, he has no idea how to be an acrobat or how to be a lion tamer or how to be any of the critical elements of a circus. He just wants to rule over it. And sadly, that's what the Oval Office is looking like at the moment. So anyway, I'm going to steer away from that. But I just wanted just to know that that is why we don't accept beef from America. And if America stuck to the standards that it put us through, which we do naturally to the rest of the world and for ourselves, all right, and you won't take our meat unless we stick to those biosecurity standards, then why do you expect us to do the opposite? Anyway, my friends, wherever you are in the world, please be informed. Education doesn't mean that you can't inform yourself on what's going on. I feel sorry for the people that are suffering. Do your due diligence. Inform yourself. Listen to your kids. I know about the voting system as far as hereditary voting, where we've got a two-party major system as well. Okay, and back in the 70s, if you voted Liberal, you were born into a Liberal family. Didn't matter what went on, you voted Liberal. If you were born into a Labor family, same thing. But be a swinging voter. Look at who's doing the right thing. Look at who's looking after the people. Anyway, it's your country, but this is my country, and that is why we are so strict on beef. And it's not just from America, it's from around the world, all right? And we keep to those standards because let me tell you, like confusing diseases with Alzheimer's, there's so many diseases that can be confused as another disease, all right? And Alzheimer's is not a great disease to die from. So, if the effects of BSE are similar, it's a long and sad road. I will talk to you soon. And I hope you didn't mind me talking on a serious note. One other thing. We could talk about tariffs, but I just want to say that the McDonald and Heard Islands are under Australian rule. They're part of Australia's ownership. There are no people there. So how are you getting 10% tariff from there? Australians, nobody's allowed to go there. You have got to apply for strict permits, and it's usually on scientific basis. The only thing that's there is 4 to 8 different breeds of birds, some penguins and some seals. So does that not show you something? Anyway, gone off track. Thomas, is there anything else you wanted to say?
No,
right.
I think it's all been said.
Okay, so just be blessed and grateful. Be aware. Educate yourself. All right? Don't listen to the hype. And it's like if you're at university and you use Wikipedia as research. All right? It's not accepted in Australian universities. I would hope that it's not accepted over there. All right? Search for the facts. Don't just accept what somebody that has no idea what they're talking about to their own country, let alone trying to influence our country or other countries. Love yous all. Peace out.